Hello everybody, how are you doing? My name is Mike, and we're going to continue our little playthrough of Dark Souls 2. We're going to be going through the first area of Harvest Valley. You notice we just walked through a pool of poison, and the poison, unlike in Dark Souls 2, has remained on our clothes. And I don't think taking the clothes off is going to remove it. It's going to be stuck there, and we're slowly going to be gaining poison as we talk to this young lady over here. That's why I'm going to put some poison items over here, just in case I might need them. I'm going to continue using the greatsword for a while. This is Chloanne, the ore trader. You see she's holding some sort of skull. She has kind of an obsession with them. She holds other skulls and bones. She's also got quite a nice rack, and there's usually something rude written in front of her. Let's take a look. Chest ahead, therefore try two-handing. Absolutely. I'm pathologically incapable of not rating those things up. They have to be rated up. Let's talk. Why, yes I am. Bet you like your binoculars now. Little armband thing she has. Chloanne isn't all that interesting a character anyway. Not like Lucatiel. She also seems to be unaware that she is crazy and undead, or not that concerned with it. Oh, sorry. Jeez. See your eyes, please? Your bangs are overtaking your face. Some sort of prick active. Anyway. And she will sell us, I think, an unlimited amount of shards. I think it just, later on when we get to, she will return to Majula. She may get an unlimited amount. And mysteriously, she also sells a miracle and a hex. Why in the world is that? It sort of makes the miracles and hexes less magical when you can just get them from some random person who sells upgrade equipment, rather than a magical trainer. But we have to, you know the drill, we have to exhaust her dialogue before she'll come. She's trying to tell us that there's a lot of poison down there, but we already know that. Oh, tell me about these benefits. Well, they're kind of, with the DLC they ain't too rare. You're undead, remember? Can't remember you're undead? She will now return to Majula. We'll see her there. We can buy stuff from her at that point. Yep. Now, before we go in, I just wanted to show you this next area, the one after Harvest Valley. Right up there, Earthen Peak. And say what you will about the art design in Dark Souls 2. It's definitely inferior to the other two games, but this place looks really, really, really cool. I mean, just look at it. It looks amazing. I love this weird... it's so unique, this bizarre kind of... I love things that are sort of scavenged and not really professional looking. I love that. With these windmills, and it looks like it's made of earth or clay or something like that. And it looks sort of haphazardly stacked up there. It looks fantastic. Let's go down there. You really want to come this way first rather than going through the Lost Sinner, Duke's Dear Freya, or the Rotten, because you can get lots of cool upgrade items here. This is an enemy we're going to feature that features in this area. I don't know what it's called, but it looks pretty cool. It's sort of some sort of weird Herculean monster thing with some sort of undead person riding it. Typically what you'd want to do if you have a good ranged weapon is to just hack away at these guys from the ground. I do not have a good ranged weapon right now, so I am going to try to bounce over there and kill it with this, but I will be in poison mist as I do that and will become poisoned very quickly. These guys have a big burly attack, but their main strength is, if you saw that there, I'm going to wait for him to do it. He will shoot a dark orb or something at you, and that thing is actually very powerful. Look at this thing. If that hit you, that could have killed me right there, even if I was at full health. That thing is very, very dangerous. However, it doesn't have any kind of verticality. Sort of like the level design in this game. I'm sorry about that. Smooth and silky stones. Some shards. I think we got our first chunk here. Yep, first titanite chunk. Fading soul. Not useful. Ooh, poison throwing knives. So that orb that he shoots, it can't really go up or down at all. So it's not really something I think that you have to worry about, ultimately. Because if you're standing up there on one of those ridges, it's not really going to be able to hit you. It can only pretty much go straight ahead. So you're pretty much in the clear. And is he here? He is! It's Gavlan! Hooray! Everybody loves Gavlan. What's going on, man? You still chugging that beer? Snagging them towskies? Love this guy. How could you not love this guy? I don't know how many of these things we have to buy from him. I'm going to try to buy 5 to get him to move to his next and final area where he will sell us an unlimited amount of poison arrows. Also, if you buy a very large amount of stuff from him, he will actually give you his axe. This sort of very, very large and really pretty crummy weapon, but still it's cool to get it. And this is our fragrant branch of yore. To clarify about when I killed Gavlan earlier in the first playthrough, I had run into that dark area in No Man's Wharf without a torch, and was fighting the monsters, and when I went in there, I swear to you that something hit me in the back, and I could have sworn that it was Gavlan, and I got really mad, and I began attacking him, and before I realized it, I'd aggroed him, and I realized, wait a minute, this guy was a good guy, wasn't he? And I just made a stupid, terrible mistake and killed him. However, in this game, and I'm not sure about how I feel about this, you can mitigate your killing. This is just a fading soul, and it spawns a skeleton. It's kind of a troll. You can mitigate killing, I think, almost any character, because after you kill them, you can walk up to them, the spot that they died, and you can find there a tombstone, and you can pay a certain amount of souls, I think it's 2,000 or 3,000, to talk to them. So there really is no penalty for murdering most of the characters in the game, because you could talk to them afterwards anyway. So I'm not sure how I feel about that, because death in this game really should be permanent, and it should be a serious thing, and you should be really, really dense and live with the consequences if you do kill someone. But, well, there you go. I mean, they made the game easier than the other 2 games. What can I say? This next area is sort of a little bit of a trap. I'm going to explain what to do here. We're going to break right and go up here. And remember, those guys would have a really tough time hitting us. I think they can if we just hung around down there. But we're not, so we're going to go up here. And they have no ability to hit us up here. And these guys are just basic hollows. They're no danger at all. And we can pull this right here. Or just some hollows over there. It's not really worthwhile. And then remember, because this is Dark Souls 2, we have another bonfire. I mean, another bonfire that quickly? Seriously? That seems pretty silly to me, that you just get another one almost immediately. I think that's kind of crazy that you would do that. Alright, now we can get even more upgrade items and another fragrant branch of yore. Again, I question this level design because that's it up there. We get one, you know, we were jonesing for one for a long time, and we can't get one, and then for quite a while, and then suddenly we get two? Why? I just noticed there that I have sort of a pouch and daggers on the side of my belt there. I really like that. It kind of reminds me of why I like the third edition D&D booklet, because the characters had a bunch of pouches and bags and things on the side of their stuff. I really enjoyed that. And we'll go in there, and we cannot get back out this way. We have to go around, and it is a gank filled with 4 or 5 of those patchwork undead. 1, 2. It's more in New Game Plus, so I can't remember. 3, 4. Yeah, 4, I think. Or we just have to run over here, and we have a door, and we can sort of lure them in one at a time and fight them. Now down there, if you can see him. Excuse me, sir. Down there, if you can see him, yes you can, is a crystal lizard. He's the trickiest one to get in the game, and I'm going to try to get him, but I doubt I'll be able to. Yes! Strength weapons! Strength weapons are also overpowered because it's easier to get to these, to the crystal lizards than it is with a dex weapon, because those often strike over the target. You can't actually hit them. The one that slams from top to bottom like this, or the Great Club, is really useful. Another favorite branch of York, because why not 2? The other games, the other sections, you get 1. Like at the end of the Lost Sinner fight, you get 1. The end of the Duke's Dear Freya fight, you get 1. But in this one, you get 2. I really think they meant for you to come this way first. He's blocking there. Who's that man with the katana here? Ooh. Whoopsie daisy doodle. I just came back to this game after several months from playing Demon's Souls and Dark Souls 1, and it's kind of confusing for me to return to the gameplay, and I keep forgetting that the enemies can sort of just bolt towards you like that. Really, the easy way to take this out is like any other area in the game, is to just run over there, is to just to run to the nearest door and hammer away with arrows. Whoops, I forgot that that was the follow-up to the one-handed attack, not the one-handed attack, so it was a lot, it was in a different direction. Come on, come down here. Come on, fatty. Oddly enough, the other enemies in this area are also kind of fatties, but even more so. We actually have to fight Tor Johnson later on in the episode, for those Plan 9 of Outer Space, for Outer Space fans. It's kind of fun. Come on. There you go. That's a fatty. I think we get 1 large shard somewhere. 5 life gem. Very nice. This does look more like an actual mine area that you would expect. Sort of a clay pit that you would see maybe in some part over to the north of England. Large shard. Hopefully we get some other shards, but that's worth it at this point in the game just to get 1. But I do like the look of this area, unlike the previous one we visited. And oopsie daisy. I don't think that's anything of terribly great use, but I'll go check. Now there is some more old knight stuff nearby, but it's kind of confusing to get. I just wanted to show you where it is, just so you know. And yeah, I did look into this shield, and apparently, as far as I know, it's always been there, that little area. I just never noticed it before in the Lost Bastille. And I'd blown those things up plenty of times. I don't know how I didn't notice. I am just an unobservant person. So, let us head over here and take a look at this fellow. And see what he's doing there. I don't really need this on. I'm going to replace it. And you can see one of those guys in there. And that is a hint that is supposed to tell you that you need to get him to come over here and break this one. However, the actual orb will not break it. Only his hand will. And leading him over here is kind of difficult. In fact, I'm not even sure if I can... Maybe I can do it. Come on, come over here. He likes to back up before... Oh, he did it. Good. This isn't terribly useful, so like I said. When I first found this, the Old Knight Pike, I was like, oh yeah, this thing looks awesome. I mean, it looks amazing. Why, I'm going to make sure to use this, and it's got really cool scaling. I think this is going to work out. Although it does not look like a pike. It looks sort of like I forget what polearm this is, but this doesn't look like a pike. Is it a fauchard, this looks like, kind of? Be a weird one. But anyway, it does look like it's made out of stone. And I was looking into this, and I was like, oh, it's got good strength scaling, this is going to be great. Look at the durability. It's the same as all of the other Old Knight weapons. 20. You could use this maybe for 5 successful hits, and that's it. It's gone. There's no point. The shield, however, does look kind of cool. It's not especially good compared to other great shields. In fact, it's measurably worse. It has only 20 for magic, fire, and lightning reduction, and dark reduction. However, it does look kind of cool. It's got sort of a weird fetish figure on it, almost like an Aztec or a Mesoamerican kind of decoration. I think that looks pretty cool. I think this might be a poison stone that you can infuse your... That's what was causing me to fat roll. I forgot that the rings have weight to them. You have to just worry about that. The stone ring is apparently pretty heavy. Rotten pine resin coats your weapon with poison. Poison is not terribly useful in this game outside of the arrows, unlike in the other games where it can be very useful. Toxin, however, toxic, the advanced version of poison, which we haven't discussed yet, that one is pretty darn powerful. Now you can get lost wandering around in these pits here that you can fall down into poison fog where you can't really see. And there is one more area, though, that we want to drop down to in that fog, because we can get yet another large titanite shard. Put this away. And we can also find a sorcery nearby here called, is it Hush? No, it's not Hush. It's the Disguise one. Which reminds me, I forgot to show everyone back in the No Man's Wharf episode a long time ago, those silver talismans, which I will show you in a moment. If I can find them. I actually like this item placement system better than the one in Dark Souls and Demon Souls. I like the big pile of stuff that you can look at. Go down here, get straight forward, and boom, oh, sorry, Simpleton Spice. I was mistaken. The large shard is over here. Sorry about that. I have not talked about the spice yet. The spice must flow. The spice comes from only one planet in the known universe. It's called a racket. No, I'm kidding. That's not the spice. It's a different spice. We're talking about a totally different spice. We will unlock this guy 2 areas past the Earthen Mound area. We'll unlock a guy who can use the Skeptics and Simpletons Spice. Where is that? Here it is. And what this does is exactly what it says. It lowers the requirement for intelligence or faith down to a minimum of 10. You can't go lower than that for a given miracle, hex, or sorcery. So this can be very useful for some builds where you don't really want your character to get that high up in either intelligence or faith. Sort of like for a character that wants to be an arcane knight, mixture of fighting and faith, or fighting and sorcery. Or if you want to be a hexer and you want to use a spell where you have very high... Some of the hexes, you need faith and intelligence to use them, and plenty of them are divided up with a really big difference between the amount of faith and the amount of intelligence you need. So you may need, say, 40 intelligence but 50 faith, and you don't want to get all the way up to that much faith, you just want the intelligence. It can be very useful for that. Although ultimately, if you're going to be taking your character into New Game Plus and beyond, you should probably just wait, because you're going to have more souls than you know what to do with. Hello, Fatso. How are you? What's going on, Fatty? This is Tor Johnson. He is a film star from Scandinavia. And he has no poise, as you may have noticed, and he's kind of pathetic. There is that disguise spell that we will get. It's called Chameleon. Just be careful, these guys can kill you. If you want to kill these guys, I would come back with a bow and arrow. It's too difficult to kill 2 at a time while being poisoned. And I'm going to go and show you what those silver talismans do right here. These silver talismans are only useful for PvP. I haven't found a way to use them at PvE, but if you could, that would be amazing. Alakazam! Yeah, it turns you into some sort of random item in the level. And you can place yourself around and hope that a player that you're invading just walks by, and when they do, bam! Backstab. And it's just kind of fun sometimes to walk around like this. I think that if the enemies would fall for this, this could be great, and I would love it. However, the enemies don't fall for this. They know it's you. They know what's going on. They can't be tricked. It would be great if you had a difference, like some enemies, like the dumb hollows, they could fall for it, but smarter characters or animals that could smell that you were actually a person, they wouldn't fall for it. And the spell that we just picked up, by the way, is the same thing. Chameleon just does the same thing that the Silver Talismans do. I think there is a place at the Invasion Covenant Zone in Huntsman's Copse that we did not go to yet that will sell Silver Talismans, but I'm not sure about that. The intelligence requirement for using Chameleon is very reasonable, too, at 14, so you might just want to get that and use it instead. This can be of marginally good use if you're invading a player. A good player is probably going to know, because they've played the game so many times, whether something should be there or not, and can tell. These things are actually in the next area, these poison pots, up there through that door. So you would really want to head up there. If you transform down there, it wouldn't help at all. And you break out of it with an attack. If you attack, you instantly lose the Chameleon. Now in this next section, let's see if I have any iron arrows. I might not. Oh dear. I wish that things other than the iron arrows can break them, like the elemental arrows, but they can't. The elemental arrows, poison or fire, can't break those jars. And there's another Tor Johnson behind there, waiting for us. Tragically, we cannot get this weapon. I am really disappointed with the game that we can't. I'm not saying I would necessarily use it, but I am a big fan of mauls. I really like hammers and mauls, and I would love to use that thing. Especially if I can make a character that was also a beast to look like that guy. Let's take a trip down here where a lot of people are going to want to go to find the Sunbro Covenant. I, because I'm unobservant, missed this on my first time and had to come back when I was already in the Iron Keep area. This weapon is not spectacular for these guys because it's kind of slow and they can get a few swings on me. I'm going to have to get my adaptability up. Alrighty. The Sunbro Covenant is one of the most iconic in the Souls series. What it does is, here's the Praise the Sun gesture, oh yeah! When we enter this covenant, what happens is our summon sign will be easier to see, so we can get summoned more for co-op more often. And we get rewarded, instead of with a token of fidelity when we complete a co-op session successfully, we get rewarded, and the host does as well, with a sunlight medal. And we can trade the sunlight medals into here for a sword at 10, a shield at 10, a sword at 20, and a miracle at 30. So you have to complete 30 successful co-op missions in order to do that. Those guys down there will also very rarely drop a sunlight medal, but it's like a 1 in 10 chance, so you'd have to essentially wipe them out and kill all 10 of them in order to get it. I don't usually go around here, but there's another little section down here with more Tor Johnson guys. I'm just going to show this little section down here because I plan on not going there when we come back. I'm actually going to leave this area in a second and go to the other area where I can get my claymore and I can use my fragrant branch of yore. Whoop, got hit again. Why can't we have those mauls? Why does From Software not want us to have warhammers? Down here on the right, you'll notice, more poison. And in this next room, we have a bunch of strange beetles or mushrooms, or I don't know what the heck these things are. I really don't. They're some sort of bizarre monstrosity. And they can spew a mist of poison that can obviously kill you if you get poisoned too quickly, and they can also physically attack you. Although otherwise, they're not really that dangerous. Yeah, these are also poison barrels or pots or something. In here, we have a Pharaoh's Lockstone. I'm going to tell you this right now. Do not I don't even have a Pharaoh's Lockstone, but don't waste a Pharaoh's Lockstone on this thing. It's pointless. All it does is essentially a troll thing that gives you, and I'm not kidding about this, it gives you a poison bite ring. That's the ring that stops poison buildup after you've gone through the poison level. Thanks. Thanks. And thanks, Pharaohs, for closing off this area with their stupid contraption. I just want to go in there, for heaven's sake. This might be a human effigy, that's it. Oh, no, an Estus flash shard. That's very useful. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to the bonfire. And I'm going to go set myself up next to Rosabeth of Melphia, maybe? Melphia is the sorcery land, so that sounds like where she could be from. And just position myself for getting ready for the next episode where I'm going to use the old fragrant branch of yore. Rosabeth is a pyromancy teacher, so this is where you're going to want to go to upgrade your pyromancy flame and to get some basic pyromancy spells. Although she doesn't really sell any good pyromancy spells. I think I might just level up here and use my Estus Flash Shard. I think I might have more than one. I sometimes forget about them because I have the life gems and I just kind of don't care as much. Oh yeah, I did have two. And there's Chloanne over there, if you see. I'm going to check to see if she sells an infinite number of... why would it allow me to go through the... Oh, don't get away! Stop it! Stop! 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 Stop. Okay. Here's something rude, I imagine. Yes, try beanpole butthole. There you go, of course. Thank you, Souls community. And she has a different skull now. Ugh. What's she holding there? Let's talk to her. You mean in the one town in this entire kingdom? Yeah. Yeah, we heard this. We heard this. Yep. This is our first hint that this is actually not just Dreng Lake, this is actually Lordran, the same kingdom from the first game, just repeated over again in another strange cycle of repetitious conflict between light and dark. Maybe they're trying to say that life itself is always constantly burning and then burning out, and then burning again, and you can't really stop the cycle of life. And that the undead are a symbol of this cycle of life and undeath. This is really strange. Does she have like a corset on? Heavens, does she? She needs a lot of support. Yeah, this is something very, very strange and part of that poor level design I was talking about. That is obviously her father, based on her dialogue there. However, he doesn't really do anything at all about it. None of them ever talk to one another. None of them ever... They never follow through on this fight. I mean, what's... Not fight, I'm sorry. They never follow through on their storyline of meeting one another. You know, the father and son have met, father and daughter have met. This is important. Why in the world aren't they, you know, running up and embracing one another and say, father, daughter? I mean, what? It makes no sense whatsoever. They really, I mean, it's almost like they started a bunch of stories with these characters and then just gave up. I really don't like that. I don't plan on going to this area fully. I'm just going to go to the entrance of the area during the next level. And as I go through it, I'm going to grab my claymore, which I'm going to be using. Because this greatsword, let's face it, I've said it 100 times, this is really overpowered. And I want something a little less powerful, but still looks cool. The claymore looks more like a realistic weapon, unlike this titanic mass of iron that we have here. Oh, Benhard, why are you here alone? And that is Rosabeth, and we will be freeing her in the next episode. Until then, though, I think that I will braise it.